So, one of the projects that I've had lately has been my greenhouse hot tub thing that people have been liking on Facebook. So, I thought that I'd put a little bit of something about how it went together and what the pieces were and how much it cost in case you want to do it. But basically, for the whole thing, it was under a grand, I'd say, to make it happen. It might even be under 800 bucks. I'll have to actually look at the prices, but I got most of the stuff on sale, so um, didn't end up being too terrible of a bill. So what I'm going to do is show you what it looks like, what some of the pieces were that I used to get it together, and then I'll also interject in here some of the costs of things. And with that, let's go look. Okay, so let's go inside this thing. It does have a latch that is not lockable, but you turn it to open it. That's nice, it holds things shut. I also put a little magnetic holder there, just so I can hold it while I'm inside, although you'll see I put another latch in there. And here we go in. Of course, I have the tub here, and the tub is about 6 foot around, 68 inches, something along those lines. Anyways, just enough to fit inside this 6 foot wide greenhouse. I made sure and I checked it several times, measured it, and I was really glad that it worked out. But there is no room on either side. So that is that part of it. Also, as part of it, I bought a LED light strip, so I don't know if you can see that in the far upper corner there, but there's the controller for it, and it is a LED light strip that runs about halfway through. It's probably about, well, a little bit more than 6 feet long, and it's programmable through my phone, so I can change the color, change what it looks like. So assembling this thing wasn't too bad. Here, let me switch this around a moment. There we go. Let's have a seat on the table here. So assembling it wasn't too bad. It took me a couple of days. The instructions were not fantastic, but I could figure it out well enough. There were some of these plastic panels here that I had to trim just a little bit to get it right, and a few of the corners and the aluminum pieces here were bent, and I had to bend them back. Not a big deal. I also had to use my drill a couple of times in the aluminum because a hole here or there might not be quite square with what it needed to be, but for the most part it came together pretty good. Also, one of the things that was not in the instructions that I did read online was to caulk as you're going along here. So I have caulked everything. I had not expected it to be completely sealed, nor do I think I want it to be completely sealed, but I do want it to be, you know, watertight enough, right? I want to be able to hold some heat in here, and I also want to let a little bit of heat escape, a little bit of stuff escape. I don't want it to be overcome with chemical smell when I come in here in case there's something along those lines. So it's not perfect. Actually today it's raining, so I can tell that it is leaking a bit in some spots, but of course everything's plastic and aluminum. It's not going to hurt anything. A couple of things that you'll see in here that I added. I put in on this side, I added some hooks because I wanted to have something for towels. So there's some spots for towels. One thing that I also did was I put a latch up here because when I'm in here in the winter time, in case, you know, we get a good gust of wind, I don't want this thing to, you know, blow all the way open and then have to figure that out when I'm sitting in the hot tub and enjoying myself. So I think that when it's windy out, I'm probably just going to latch that to lock it to keep it closed. So one of the reasons why I picked up the 12-foot version was I knew that I'd want a little bit of space to be able to maneuver, to come out in my robe, be able to hang up the robe on one of the hooks and move around. So I've got, I don't know, 5 feet or so here, because there is a foot that I have on the other side of the tub. So that's why I got the 12-foot long version instead of the 8, or the 6 would have just covered things and been fine, but you wouldn't be able to do much other than just jump in the tub. 8 might have worked too, but it'd be pretty tight. And in here, we also have our little table and chair set, which fit just fine and help out for holding drinks or whatever. And I usually hang my robe out over that chair so I can dry my fingers if I need to while I'm in the tub. Another thing that I was thinking about when I was putting this together was how to keep this space a little bit warmer than it is outside. I don't know if it's going to work, but what I did is I found some, let's see here, it would be for rain gutter fall. So it is a kind of a oblong squished piece of black plastic that goes underneath the length of the tub, and there's what would be the downspout, what would hook to the downspout. I actually have pointed down and, let's see here, out. So cold air should come into it because it's lower than the warmer air that will be warmed by the tub and coming out through here. So here is what this part of that looks like. So I have this right here. I have it screened so that no bugs and things can get into it, but that's what that's all about. I'm hoping that warm air will come out of here, warm this up a little bit, and keep things a little bit nicer. So now, so I can show you the other end of the room, I am going to get down to my skivvies so I can traverse the hot tub, and I'll show you that in a second. Okay, so I'm standing in the middle of the tub. And one thing that I forgot to show you before was that this kit also came with rooftop vents. So it helps when things get a little bit steamy in here when we've got the hot tub open. I can open that. There were some hinges that came with it that would hold it open. They didn't seem to work really well, so I ditched those, but these can slide. So I can just move that out of the way and it's totally open, and that helps cool things off. So hopefully that'll be good for the winter time. So down here in the back, what I've got is, there's the other half of that black pipe, right, that I talked about, and that goes underneath to the other side. I also have, let's see here if I can show you that. This right here is a sound bar that I got at Goodwill for, I don't know, $5 or something. It's a Bluetooth, so I can hook that up to my phone so I can play some music through it, which I do when I'm sitting out here at night. So that's a nice thing. I have a extension cord that's plugged into a outdoor an outdoor extension cord that of course has a breaker on it, and this is for the lights, this is for the sound bar, and if I needed something else, I'd plug something else in there, but I'm not sure what else I would need at this point. And of course this is the controller for the hot tub, and I ran the cords underneath the back here because I'm not completely on the bricks. You saw bricks at one side. Over here you probably noticed that it is grass, and I did that on purpose. So I've got, like I said, there's about a foot here, and I wanted the grass so that I could dig this down a little bit and put this lower, so of course, like I said before, the convection that has the heat going out the other side. So that's this end of the tub, and there's a better view of the controller. This light strip, the adhesive that was on these lights were not working well at all, so I got some two-sided gummy tape that's holding it there really spectacularly. So that's worked out really well. And let's see, I'm not sure if I can turn it on like that. Oh yeah, there we go. I can turn it on like that, but I have been controlling it through my phone. There's an app and it's Bluetooth, so it does the trick really well. And it's not just blue colors, you can make it any color you want it to. This whole thing was 25 bucks at Home Depot on sale. Okay, and with that, so another thing that I did while I was thinking about this was I bought some 4x4s to go underneath, some treated 4x4s to go all the way around the whole greenhouse. I wanted to make sure that this was staying put, right? Because it's all aluminum and it's all this plastic sheet stuff. I wanted to make sure that it was a little bit heavier, that it stayed put, and it also gave me, 4 more inches up here, so it bumped it up a little bit higher. Another thing that I did last year was I took some insulation and I put it underneath the tub to insulate it from the cold ground over top, while it's sitting outside in wintertime, because we are in Michigan and it does get pretty cold in the middle of winter. So I wanted to insulate it from the ground. So what I had some leftover hard insulation, and it's not very pretty, but it does do the trick. Oh, and there's a little bug crawling right there, moving around. Hey, I am still outside, so he's not going to bother anybody. But that's what I have underneath of it. So that seemed to work last year. Of course, I don't know. I didn't run without it, but the tub stayed, warm enough during the middle of winter. So those were a couple of things that I thought of that I hadn't talked about earlier that I also added to this.